Insulin sensitivity is absolutely crucial for optimal metabolic health. However, we're seeing that insulin resistance, which can often lead to diabetes, is becoming more and more common. That's why understanding how specific vitamins can help bolster insulin function is so important. You see, these micronutrients play a vital role in helping our bodies use glucose effectively, which in turn helps maintain balanced blood sugar levels. 5 key vitamins that support insulin sensitivity. Number 1, vitamin D. All right, let's talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin, plays a surprisingly significant role in how our bodies manage sugar and respond to insulin. Its influence actually extends well beyond just bone health, touching upon the intricate mechanisms of glucose metabolism. So, when your vitamin D levels are optimal, your body may become more responsive to insulin. That's the hormone responsible for ushering glucose from your bloodstream into your cells for energy. This improved responsiveness is really a cornerstone of good metabolic health, helping to keep blood sugar levels stable. Now, there's a good amount of evidence from numerous studies suggesting a strong link between vitamin D status and insulin sensitivity. In fact, research has shown that individuals who are deficient in vitamin D often exhibit higher rates of insulin resistance. It's also been observed that supplementation with vitamin D, particularly in these deficient populations, can help reduce insulin resistance, thereby improving how effectively their bodies can utilize glucose. This really highlights just how important it is to maintain adequate vitamin D levels, especially for those concerned about metabolic health and diabetes management. So you might be wondering, how does vitamin D actually achieve these benefits? Well, the proposed mechanisms are quite multifaceted. One key action is its potential to modulate the expression of insulin receptors on our cells. By enhancing the number or function of these receptors, vitamin D can help cells become more sensitive to insulin signals. And that's not all. Vitamin D also possesses anti-inflammatory properties. We know that chronic inflammation is a known contributor to insulin resistance, so by reducing inflammation, vitamin D can indirectly support better insulin function and glucose control. When considering vitamin D intake, it's important to aim for those recommended levels. These can often be achieved through sensible sun exposure, eating fortified foods, and, if necessary, supplementation. However, it's really crucial to approach supplementation with caution because excessively high doses of vitamin D can have adverse effects. That's why consulting with a healthcare provider is so important. They can help determine the appropriate intake for your individual needs and ensure your safety, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions or are taking other medications. It's also worth noting that despite these promising findings, research into vitamin D's role in glycemic control is still ongoing. There are still some gaps in our understanding, particularly when it comes to the optimal dosage for different populations and the long-term effects of supplementation on diabetes prevention and management. Future studies will likely focus on these areas, which will further clarify how we can best harness the metabolic benefits of vitamin D. Understanding these nuances will be key to providing more personalized recommendations for individuals who are seeking to improve their insulin sensitivity. Number 2, vitamin C. Moving on, let's discuss vitamin C. Vitamin C is widely recognized for its potent antioxidant capabilities, and this very property plays a crucial role in influencing blood glucose levels and supporting insulin production. As an antioxidant, vitamin C helps neutralize harmful free radicals in the body. These free radicals can damage cells, including the vital insulin-producing beta cells in the pancreas. So by protecting these cells, vitamin C contributes to maintaining healthy insulin secretion and function, and the clinical findings are quite encouraging. Several studies indicate that regular intake of vitamin C can lead to improvements in insulin sensitivity. This means the body's cells respond more effectively to insulin. Furthermore, research has shown that vitamin C supplementation can contribute to a reduction in overall blood sugar levels, which is particularly beneficial for individuals managing prediabetes or diabetes. These improvements are often attributed to its powerful ability to mitigate oxidative stress. Now, what about getting enough vitamin C? The recommended daily allowances vary based on age, sex, and lifestyle factors. While many people can obtain sufficient vitamin C through a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, think oranges, strawberries, bell peppers, and broccoli, certain populations may have an increased need for this vitamin. For instance, smokers, individuals under significant stress, or those with specific malabsorption issues might require supplementation to meet their requirements and reap its metabolic benefits. As always, it's advisable to discuss any supplementation with a healthcare provider. Let's delve a bit deeper into how vitamin C works its magic. One of the primary mechanisms through which it supports insulin sensitivity is by reducing oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is essentially a condition where there's an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants, leading to cellular damage. This state is closely linked to the development of insulin resistance. So by combating oxidative stress, vitamin C helps protect cells from damage and supports the proper functioning of insulin signaling pathways. Beyond its systemic antioxidant effects, vitamin C may also directly benefit the pancreas, which is the organ responsible for insulin production. It helps improve the function of pancreatic beta cells. These are the cells tasked with synthesizing, storing, and releasing insulin. Healthier beta cells mean more efficient insulin production and release, which is absolutely fundamental for maintaining stable blood glucose levels and preventing the progression of insulin resistance. Number 3, chromium. Next up, we have chromium. Chromium is an essential trace mineral that plays a pivotal role in the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and it has a particularly noted impact on insulin sensitivity. It's understood to enhance the action of insulin, the hormone critical for regulating blood sugar. By working alongside insulin, chromium helps facilitate the uptake of glucose from the bloodstream into the cells, where it can then be used for energy. This makes chromium a key player in maintaining normal blood glucose levels and supporting overall metabolic efficiency. So what does the evidence say? Well, evidence from various studies supports the benefits of chromium supplementation, especially for individuals dealing with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Research has indicated that chromium can improve how the body responds to insulin, leading to better glycemic control. Furthermore, some studies have shown that chromium supplementation may also positively influence lipid profiles. For example, it might help in reducing LDL, that's the bad, cholesterol and triglyceride levels, which are often elevated in individuals with metabolic syndrome or type 2 diabetes. These combined effects make chromium a really interesting nutrient for comprehensive metabolic support. Now, when we look at clinical studies investigating the effects of chromium on insulin sensitivity and glucose control, dosages have varied. However, a common amount used is around 400 micrograms, or mcg, daily, often administered for periods like 8 weeks or longer to observe significant effects. While chromium is generally considered safe when taken at appropriate doses, it's important to be mindful of potential interactions and the fact that excessive intake can lead to adverse effects. Therefore, consulting with a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement, including chromium, is crucial to ensure it's appropriate for your individual health status and needs. Despite these positive findings, it's also important to acknowledge the limitations of the current evidence regarding chromium. The results from studies have sometimes been inconsistent, and the extent of chromium's benefits can vary significantly among individuals. This suggests that a personalized approach to supplementation is necessary. Factors such as your baseline chromium status, your diet, and the presence of other health conditions can all influence how you respond to chromium. So, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, and more research is definitely needed to define optimal supplementation strategies for different populations. Number 4, zinc. All right, let's move on to zinc. Zinc is a vital mineral that is intrinsically involved in numerous aspects of insulin metabolism. This ranges from its initial synthesis and storage in the pancreatic beta cells to its secretion into the bloodstream and its ultimate action on target cells. It's interesting to note that the pancreas, particularly the beta cells that produce insulin, has a high concentration of zinc, which really underscores its importance in insulin production and release. Therefore, having adequate zinc levels is crucial for maintaining the structural integrity and proper function of insulin, and the research backs this up. It has provided compelling evidence that zinc supplementation can lead to significant improvements in insulin resistance, particularly in individuals who may have suboptimal zinc levels. Studies have shown that by ensuring adequate zinc intake, the body's cells can become more responsive to insulin, which facilitates better glucose uptake and utilization. Additionally, zinc plays a role in reducing oxidative stress. And as we've discussed, that's a key factor contributing to the development and progression of insulin resistance and associated metabolic complications. Zinc's antioxidant properties are a significant aspect of its beneficial effects on metabolic health. You see, it's a cofactor for several antioxidant enzymes, such as superoxide dismutase, which help neutralize harmful free radicals. By mitigating oxidative stress, zinc helps protect pancreatic beta cells from damage, thereby preserving their ability to produce and secrete insulin effectively. This protective role actually extends to overall pancreatic health, ensuring the organ functions optimally in regulating blood sugar. So, how can you maintain healthy zinc levels? Well, it's important to be aware of recommended intake levels and rich dietary sources. The recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, for zinc varies by age and gender. Excellent dietary sources of zinc include oysters, red meat, poultry, beans, nuts, and dairy products. For individuals who may struggle to meet their zinc requirements through diet alone, or those with conditions affecting zinc absorption, supplementation might be considered. Of course, this should be under the guidance of a healthcare provider to ensure appropriate dosing and to avoid potential imbalances with other minerals like copper. Number 5, Coenzyme Q10, CoQ10. And finally, we have Coenzyme Q10, often referred to as CoQ10 or ubiquinone. Coenzyme Q10 is a vitamin-like substance that is naturally produced by our bodies and plays a critical role as an antioxidant. It's particularly vital for mitochondrial function. You see, it's a key component in the electron transport chain, which is the process through which our cells generate adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. That's the body's primary energy currency. So, healthy mitochondria are absolutely essential for cellular health and overall energy metabolism. Now, there's a growing understanding of the link between mitochondrial dysfunction and the development of insulin resistance. When mitochondria are not functioning optimally, energy production can be impaired, and the accumulation of reactive oxygen species, which causes oxidative stress, can increase. This cellular stress can then interfere with insulin signaling pathways, making cells less responsive to insulin's efforts to facilitate glucose uptake. This, in turn, contributes to elevated blood sugar levels and insulin resistance. What about CoQ10 supplementation? Well, studies exploring its impact have suggested potential benefits for individuals with metabolic concerns. Research indicates that CoQ10 may help reduce oxidative stress, thanks to its potent antioxidant properties. By neutralizing free radicals, it can protect cells from damage and support healthier mitochondrial function. Furthermore, some findings suggest that CoQ10 supplementation can improve insulin signaling pathways, potentially enhancing the body's sensitivity to insulin and promoting better glucose control. For those considering CoQ10 supplementation, there are some practical aspects to keep in mind. These include choosing a reputable brand and an appropriate dosage, which can vary depending on individual needs and health conditions. CoQ10 is fat-soluble, so it's often better absorbed when taken with a meal that contains fats. Its potential benefits in managing metabolic syndrome are of particular interest. This condition involves a cluster of risk factors including insulin resistance, abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, and abnormal cholesterol levels. By addressing oxidative stress and supporting mitochondrial health, CoQ10 may offer a supportive role in managing these interconnected issues. Of course, this should always be under the guidance of a healthcare professional. Other nutrients that may support insulin sensitivity. Beyond these 5 key vitamins and nutrients we've discussed, it's worth mentioning that several other nutrients also show promise in aiding insulin resistance management. For example, probiotics, which are the beneficial bacteria residing in our gut, may influence inflammation and glucose metabolism. Then there are omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish oil, which are well known for their anti-inflammatory properties. These can indirectly support insulin function. Alpha-lipoic acid, another potent antioxidant, has also been studied for its potential to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce symptoms of diabetic neuropathy. Ultimately, embracing a holistic nutritional approach, one that considers a wide array of beneficial compounds rather than just isolated nutrients, is crucial for effectively supporting metabolic health. So, to wrap things up, vitamins D and C, along with chromium, zinc, and coenzyme Q10, are all instrumental in supporting insulin sensitivity. They do this through diverse mechanisms, from enhancing insulin receptor function to reducing oxidative stress. For effective management of insulin resistance, it's really essential to consider personalized supplementation strategies, which should be developed under medical guidance. This will help address individual needs and truly optimize metabolic health. If you found this information helpful, please do share this article with others who might be interested in metabolic health. We also encourage you to subscribe for more updates on nutrition science. And of course, feel free to comment below with your experiences or any questions you might have about managing insulin sensitivity.